ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula 1 racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Ed Vance. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. A full grid lined up some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. The cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take it out. Away we go!
DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo comes under the pressure in the traction zone! I press command up and another overtake on 1.3 frame mark. This is round 3 quarter mark. Off the track! Timo cracks under the pressure once again!
And Timo are oh, it's not pit. Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
so what we gotta do so they can start at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is race night once again here on the Extreme Gaming League channel, and we are ready for the highest tier of SLR racing the week has to offer, and it is, of course, SLR Tier 1. It is the 5th season, and I think round 13, and we are here at the Hungarian, and by we I mean, well, the drivers, and then also myself, Timo, and Tara alongside me in the commentary. Hello.
Yeah, hi everyone. We've got a fun one today. We've got at least a dry qualifying session. I don't know about the race just yet. I kind of hope that it's dry as well, as Flesh River almost loses the back end out of the penultimate corner, decides to pit, and we have one of these tracks where there's going to be a difference in strategy here with a lot of drivers. A few drivers going to go on the softs, and already we've got a lap of about 13.7 is a very good lap on the softs this early in the session from Bryce. So he's put down an early marker, but the issue with the softs is that they die very quickly in the race, and medium hard is the optimal race strategy. But obviously you can't qualify at the front if you're on mediums, so it's one of those where it's a decision that a lot of drivers will have to make. Bryce has already made his decision because he's almost certainly not going to be able to beat that lap on mediums. Hugo looks like he invalidated and did a 13.2, which is an extremely fast lap. Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one today. We got that mix of strategies, and like we say, we don't know what the weather's like in the race, but hopefully it is Hopefully it's dry, honestly, because you kind of need it for racing here. But it should be a fun one.
Yeah, and I mean, early in the season, specifically in Zandvoort, we've made those comparisons to the Hungaroring about how, you know, the tracks with limited overtaking possibilities still oftentimes deliver some of the most exciting races, because you really have to work for those overtakes. You can't just, you know, trail someone for ages, then press one button, namely the DRS button, and then just coast past them on the straight. That doesn't happen here. You actually have to work for it, and those drivers we see on the timing tower here are certainly capable of giving us some great racing, even though this is not the most racy of tracks on the calendar. So I'm looking forward to this one a lot.
Yeah, and Gary's put in an early marker for the medium runners. He's put a 14.8 in, which is a very strong lap on the medium tyres this early in the session. He's gone early on the mediums, which means that either he'll have to do another run on them later, or he is locked in to his mediums time. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, I expect at least a few drivers will do the softs in qualifying. I would expect the front few of the grid at least to be made up of soft runners. The delta between the two tyres is about 1.3 seconds in a vacuum. It's not quite as much as that in practice, because the softs wear as you do the lap, and they can also overheat at the end of the lap as well, so it's slightly less than that. But certainly it's a big difference.
Yeah, we will see how this plays out for sure. There's yellows in sector 2. There's 2 cars stationed. I wonder if that's just... Ah, yeah, that's just annoying. People... I was trying to find some drama, but everything's okay.
Yeah, I think it was it? No, I don't know who it was actually. It was one of them was Granat letting somebody through. Maybe Justin as well letting somebody through. But yeah, not many laps being put in early in the session, which isn't all that surprising.
Yeah, I mean, you just, like, so many people will just wait, and we'll see what comes of it. Of course, it adds the possibility of absolutely bottling your lap if you do it later in the session and it's your one medium lap. Like, that can happen really easily. And,
Yeah.
you know, don't want that to happen. So, let's see how it plays out. The early stages of this session will therefore be a little bit more quiet. In that time, we can maybe look at you know, some stats. We've got the track record for this was set in season 2. Well, I guess generally all the track records we're gonna show in qualifying are probably from season 2, because well, F1 2018 was faster than 19, and F1 2020 is faster again. So I think we'll beat most of those track records. And in fact, this qualifying has already beaten the track record, because Atrocity set a 14.6 in season 2, and now we've already got a 13.7 here by Bryce. So
well, actually, that means that the track record, at least for 3 days, was mine, because I did a 13.9 in tier 3 qualifying. That was the track record, at least for 3 days, until about 5 minutes ago when Bryce broke it. So yeah, there we go.
Wait, what was pole yesterday?
It was not a dry
raining,
session, was it? It was raining.
You, well, unlucky.
So yeah, you had the chat. You would have had the chance to take the lap record away from me, but unfortunately not.
Growing more and more arrogant by the day. So, so it's interesting to see. Also, have a look at the past winners. We've got 4 different winners in 4 races. Unfortunately, I don't really remember this, like, much of the specifics of the races, but Wow took the win last time, and he is on the grid. He is in that AlphaTauri, and he hasn't set a lap yet, but I did 1 practice session with him. He got disqualified in lap 22, so I don't know how this is gonna work out for him. The track limits are a big factor on this track, in my opinion. Well, it's like Silverstone. It's one of those tracks where you don't necessarily gain time by abusing track limit. Well, you actually do.
I think there's a couple where you do. Turn 4, certainly, I think you gain time by yeeting the curb there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you also just get warnings by making mistakes. That was more what I was aiming for to say, because
Yeah, yeah.
That's a factor on this track for sure. And speaking of making mistakes, that was a beautiful slide, but it's invalid anyways because he's probably just driving around for the fun of it before going out on mediums later on.
Yep, I think that's right. And yeah, it's been pointed out in chat as well that the fastest lap of the week on mediums was actually in tier 4. It was.
I knew you would mention it. I knew it. I saw it in chat, and I knew Terra would come back to it.
Yeah, that was on the medium tire in inverted commas.
Danny and Owen must be great at building something. How do you have so much grip? Well, I've got a setup from Owen and Danny. Let's
There you go. Yep. It's medium tires, folks. Yeah, I'd like a set of those medium tires.
This is the theme. I'm actually really sad that he didn't, like in his lap, I'm really sad he didn't hit the big curb in turn 5, because I really would have liked to know what happens. Because like it instantly kills your car, but then again, the setup is so good that he just doesn't slide. We're talking about Kane, by the way. It's for everyone who didn't get the joke. So,
yeah, afraid so.
It's funnier when you explain it, that's why.
We got 7 minutes in the session. Copy has done the fastest lap so far. He did that a couple of minutes ago on the soft, so I think he's probably locked into that soft time as well. Astro Boy's on a 14.1. He's done that on the soft, so that would be a very difficult time to beat on the mediums. I would suspect that he will not manage to beat it, or yeah, I mean, he may try, but I suspect he's not even going to try. Everyone else, though, Justin, Bailey, Gary, that is probably an achievable time on the medium tires, 14.4.
Why is Astro Boy's in a right now? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Cursed as hell.
He's normally in a Mercedes, right?
Yes, yeah.
So
Shaka's
in the Mercedes, so yeah, it looks like they didn't select their cars properly or something like that.
He
Don't know.
doesn't have his Timid. That's so sad.
Oh, well.
Okay, go on. I was, this just, shocked me too much. I couldn't, not talk. Yeah, no. I couldn't.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I think, yeah, the medium lap times, the best medium lap time that I've seen, and this was by Mr. Some Idiot, who is a very fast driver, is a 13.9. In fact, not seen, but heard about. So yeah, that is an extremely fast medium lap time. I don't expect that to be reached in this session. But yeah, Astro Boys probably is the sort of cutoff, as it were, for the soft runners.
I would suspect that is the case. I know yesterday in Rapid Races, Danny did, like, Danny was the fastest medium runner, and I believe it was a 14.1 or 14.2. So, and that brought him up to P4, which was really good, of course. So,
by the way, I'm just curious as to what Hugo's doing here. He's on the medium tire. He's invalidated, but he's still pushing. Unless it's a bug and he's not actually invalidated, that's possible.
Well,
Bailey crosses the line to the 14.2. He is heading into the pits, and whoa! That was it's one way to enter the pits.
True. Not a good way, though. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. But
I guess
like he's having a difficult qualifying session.
Yeah, I guess he just invalidated, and will go out again on the same set of medium tires unless he decides he wants to put the softs on instead and go to the front of the grid.
I think that's actually going to happen. Because there's a good amount of people who do mediums, so like, but it's not overwhelming. So softs are still decent, and with his banker lap or something. What did you say was 12.9, right? His invalid one.
No, it was I think it was a 13.2 or something like that.
Well, I know he did a 12.9 yesterday as a banker, so.
Yeah. No, a 12 is certainly possible for the very fast boys.
And he can take pole by a mile if the others don't improve. So, I think that's actually what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he has fitted the soft, so it looks like you are right. Danny has invalidated his lap, which is unfortunate for him. I think he's going to go on another one in a second. Icewind is on his, I was going to say his out lap, but it doesn't look like an out lap to me. It looks like he's abandoned his lap 2, and he's going to go for another hot lap in a second. We come down to the business end of this qualifying session. 3.5 minutes on the clock. It's probably a little bit more than that in reality. Probably something like 4.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Wow has just started his hot lap, or a hot lap at least, on the medium tyres as well. He's coming up to the turn 4 now, where you can very
That's
easily
another-
invalidate just like that.
Thanks for demonstrating it well. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. He's got our best
Danny.
interest at heart. That's...
Yep, absolutely. Danny is now on the medium tyre doing his lap as well. Hugo has fitted the soft tyre and is going to do a soft lap, so
Gotta watch
he
Danny
will...
through turn 4. I want to see how he takes it, and he takes it better than well. It didn't look too stable, but it was controlled, so he's getting away with it early on the power in turn it was 5. Now heading towards the chicane. So Danny, lap looks clean so far. He almost takes the grass on the outside there. I wonder if he can take it. These corners are so difficult.
Oh no! Just a little tiny bit wide. It looked pretty unnecessary as well. It looked like he wasn't struggling for traction there. He just drifted a little bit too far wide. So Danny will have to go again.
Yeah, Sector 3 is just... It's just tough because it's about... You know, you have to do a lot of things at once. You have to keep your car towards the inside so you can't understeer off, but you also have to get the car, like, pointed in the right direction and also accelerate, which you can't do all at once. Well, you can, but it's... You can't full-on floor it and also put full steering lock, and that doesn't work. So
yeah, it's very difficult to do. Bryce has just beaten his lap time by a tiny little bit. 13.6 from him. Hugo now on a soft lap, and he just barely doesn't invalidate there in turn 4. And we're getting towards what you might call squeaky bum time for these guys now, because they haven't put a lap in. Hugo, Danny, wow. And we have a minute and a half, at least on the clock here in the session. It'll be just over 2 minutes probably in reality. Hugo invalidates as well. So that's terrible news for Hugo. Is Hugo not going to get a lap in at all? Is he going to have to do another lap on the softs probably, right?
Yeah,
Gary goes past it.
He has to. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Yeah,
will...
otherwise he starts right at the back.
Maybe he'll intentionally, like, do it slow so he ends outside of the top 10 because he doesn't want 2 laps on those softs.
Possibly.
I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, 2 laps on the softs is a little bit painful. It's not so bad. You only get single qualifying wear in, single wear in qualifying compared to double wear in the race. As Danny, just very wide on the exit there of the fast right-hander. This looks an okay lap from him so far. He locks up a little bit into the right-hander at the end of the lap, into the very slow left-hander. That looked nice enough to me. And he's going to cross the line, and I suspect this is going to be somewhere in the mid-14s. He just barely avoided invalidating. Wow, 14.481, he goes P7.
That's a decent enough lap. I mean, there was some time in there. We saw that mistake in the last corner, but I think he will probably go away from the session thinking that didn't need to happen had he not bottled the earlier runs, but at least he got a decent lap in. So P8 for Danny.
Absolutely he did. Hugo is in sector 2 as well now, going through the fast right-hander. That was close. Oh my goodness. I guess because it was slow, so he didn't actually invalidate.
That's why I'm the penalty king, because I'm just slow. I don't get.
So through the last couple of corners, Hugo is going to keep our eyes on the timing screen as well. A couple of people crossing the line. Bailey crossing 13.9 from him. Icewind may have crashed, and Hugo does not go.
P17.
And did he misjudge that? He must have misjudged that. He didn't know. I guess he didn't, because he didn't have a delta. He didn't know how fast he was going. So he's going to be starting P17.
Makenda goes second, fastest. Of course, he's.
Yeah, good lap from Makenda.
I think championship leader in Tier 2, and now. He's won the Tier 2 race, to my knowledge, and now he...
Makenda stops on track? Was that actually him? That was really weird.
I saw it.
Something looks like they went through him. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we got a topsy-turvy grid here, folks. It's going to be a fun one. Hugo all the way down in P18 now, because I think Shaka, just improved. He goes P15. So, yeah, Hugo right at the back. Icewind as well right at the back. I guess he tried to do a lap on the medium tyres and got it wrong. But yeah, Gary is the one in the box seat because he's got several cars between himself and his main championship contenders. Copy's the nearest really in P4.
Channel switch.
We've got Astro and Bailey P5 and 6.
I'm sorry for that. We had a sound in the background. It's fine.
Well, I mean, not that there's much not that there's much of a championship fight, but you know, it's at least the other fast boys are a little bit little way behind. Good lap from Makenda as well, getting P2 there on a 13.5. That is a very creditable lap indeed.
What are we... are we waiting for Jugos to come around again?
Yeah, and Bailey as well is on track still. We got a McLaren stopped. I guess that's Basco who had
Basco,
retired. Yeah, retired on track. So yeah, we're just waiting for a few cars to come around, and Bailey trying to do as slow an in-lap as he possibly can. I guess he's probably out of fuel, actually. Nope, not out of fuel, just doing a very slow in-lap. So Bailey looking after the tyres. And that's going to be our grid. And like I said, it's the sort of grid that you put together if you want to see a surprise. So yeah.
Yeah. In the past races, generally, I think a trend has been that Jugos, like, something happens to him in qualifying, or he bottles it or something, and then in the race, like, one thing goes his way, and then he just, like, takes it.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah?
Sorry, JQR and Makenda had a collision, and Dragon got a penalty for it. Makenda did not.
That's fair.
So, yeah, JQR looks like he has a 5-place grid penalty. Didn't see how that happened, but yeah, he certainly does have one.
That is really weird. I didn't see it either. I didn't notice the penalty either. So, yeah, I mean, that means P18 firm, doesn't it? Yeah. So,
yep.
it promotes all those other guys a little bit. And, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something very intelligent. I think. No,
I'm afraid I can't help you. Sorry. Okay.
I'm blanking. It happens.
But yeah, there is our grid, and Bryce with a very good lap early in the session that would have been good enough for P4. He improved on it slightly. It was P3 in the end for Bryce. So good lap from him. Copy P4 with the usual solid, consistent performance. And that is the issue with going on the medium tyres. You only really get one shot. Maybe you get 2 shots, but even 2 shots around Hungary is a little bit dicey. And Hugo is the one to pay the penalty this time because he didn't judge the soft lap properly, and he starts it'll be P17 with JQR's penalty, but certainly not where he wants to start in this race.
I still haven't figured it out.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well, while all the drivers sort themselves out, I'm going to refill my coffee. So I will be right back.
Nice flex. It's just leaving me alone with my thoughts. That's yeah, Jugos is P17 because he bottled his lap. Oh right, yeah. Never as helpful. He reminded me of what I was gonna say. Jugos, like, always waits for that one thing to go his way. Most times it's a safety car, and then he just takes the race and runs away with it. And right now he is in arguably a pretty bad position. Well, he's P17, so he's got loads of people on the same strategy who are all ahead of him. And for example, Danny's in the same situation as him, is in P9. So, like, Jugos has a little bit of a... he's got some obstacles in his way, and but I haven't really... Like, I have the feeling that somehow he's gonna turn this around and get, like, a really good finish, and it's gonna be exciting to see how all of it happens. While I'm praising him, I might also have a look at the championship table. Tara said earlier on that there's not much of a championship, and well, I mean, that's just unfortunately plain realism. It certainly isn't the most it certainly isn't the closest championship we've ever had here. Jugos is leading by 67 points. I mean, at this point, the gap in the championship between Jugos and Copy isn't even there to tell us if the championship's close or anything. It's just to, like, test my math skills once a week. That's literally the only thing they're good for. And in the Constructors' Championship, it looks even more dire, because Gary is absolutely... Like, he's solo carrying that Racing Point team, and Williams has outscored them by more than double. So that's
no, the championship fights are not much of not much of a fight anymore, unfortunately, but we can still have some fun in these races. We got Hugo coming through on the hard tyre. In fact, most of the back of the grid has gone with hard tyres, which is an interesting decision because safety cars are certainly a possibility. Does that mean, if that means that we could have some rain? I don't know. Probably not. It looks pretty sunny. But
No,
it's a curious
what I would
decision
do.
for most of the grid.
I
Yeah.
think I would do it as well.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. The early safety car is a problem if you go on the hard. You know,
It's the only problem, I would argue.
it's a little bit of a risk. Yeah, it's true. So,
I mean, even if there's an early safety car, you're not completely out of this. You could either two-stop or just take a free ticket to the front of the grid. But speaking of the front of the grid, we've got Makenda on the inside line on Gary. It's a very exciting front row, and we're gonna see how this transpires as we go green. We go green in Hungary, and it looks like a good start from Gary from where I'm sitting. Our camera angles aren't the best, but yeah, you got a really good launch. Price Evolution already getting swamped by Copy in the background. Copy looks to the inside, but I don't think he can do anything about Makenda. And now Bryce goes really deep into that corner. He shaves some, he goes through, and he's still alongside of Copy. And I saw some Ferrari front wing flying off, so Danny or Bailey has got damage. And Copy and Bryce are still not done with each other, running side by side through turn 3, and it looks like Bryce will just about stay ahead. There was a big little wobble behind all of that. I don't know what happened there. Astro is still in 5th, and someone went deep into turn 4. And
yeah,
you guys...
Flesh River a little bit wide there.
That's Fox. No, that's Pixel. And
Pixel.
Death also hits Fox, so that's 2 around in turn 4. No, turn 5. My God, I'm having a good day. That's...
Yeah, unfortunate for those two, but it was all sorts of action at the back, very clean. Hugo thought about making it 3 wide all the way up to turn 4, backed out of it in the end, but he's made his way up to P13 already. Good start from Copy, but he wasn't really able to capitalize. And the front 4 in formation as they are at the moment. Pretorius and Basco also having a little bit of a scrap there for 9th and 10th, but otherwise it's as you were. Danny has made up 2 places on those medium tyres. He's going to be looking to make up more places before the pit stops.
Yes, it's been a really good start for him, and that damage on Bailey's car, it's on Bailey's car, will, of course, well, will probably compromise him so much that Danny might actually just build up a gap here, and that's where the DRS train might rip apart early. Although,
yeah,
I mean, Bailey's on soft, so maybe he can keep up.
No, I still think that's likely. He's visibly understeering, and I wonder if he's going to switch the strategy to a 2-stop or something like that, as he, yeah, he just got himself a warning as well. So through turn 5 he goes, and yeah, it's a matter of time, I think, before he loses that DRS connection to his teammate, which is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, for context in the pit stop situation, oh, well, thank you, Codemasters. That was really good timing. They predict lap 7 to 8. That's maybe a warning for Makenda, by the way. They predict lap 7 to 8 for the soft to hard runners, but like, and I mean that's realistic because in my Tier 2 race, I of course was I think the only one who pitted for hards in lap 3 safety car, and
yeah,
like the first so. I went 30 laps on these tires on actual race pace, and I ended up at 74%, so I think that's like the maximum you can do. If a safety car was to hit now, you would need some tire management from those drivers. And
yeah, absolutely you would, as Pretorius all over the back of Bailey now decides not to use his battery, which is an interesting decision. I think I might have...
Granat, or, no, yeah, Granat, he's run in the last corner.
Oh dear.
He needs to recover, and Jurgas has in the meantime made a move on Mao. There were so many cars between them. How's that happened so early on? Either Wow is just, I don't know, having a bad time, or Jurgas is cutting through that field.
Oh, Bailey really struggling. Bailey losing a couple of places there to Pretorius and Basco.
Don't
and
stick your nose in! My God. That was unnecessary. He gets squeezed up onto the curb. He doesn't want to get any of this up. Tries to swing around the outside of Bascadinia. And that's not gonna work, especially with that added understeer on that Ferrari. You must be feeling the real Ferrari aero kit right now.
Yep, absolutely right. And he's got a little bit of a train behind. Well, Basco's got a little bit of a train behind him. But yeah, Makenda getting 3 seconds. He's up in P2. That's a very meaningful penalty.
Yeah, it's 1 penalty more than he got in
P2. Yeah, we'll keep our eye on the penalty situation. But yeah, in terms of pit stops, as around the outside, trying to go around the outside as well. Hugo having to defend that on the inside. Went way too deep into the corner. Icewind's there as well. Big traffic jam right at the back here. Icewind's going to lose a place here because he tried to hang it around the outside there, and Julian, he doesn't lose a place, in fact. Julian keeps that position for the time being. Hugo is trying to get Flesh River here down the front straight. Through he goes.
That's good move done from him. I mean, he really makes that Hungarian track look like it's Baku or something, because he's just gone up the order. I think 7 places already in the first 4 laps, and that on hards. I mean, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, good stuff from Hugo. He's got Basco next as, wow, again trying to hang it around the outside of Flesh River there. Flesh River not really giving space, he didn't have to.
Inside. My god! Nice one also really sideways. It's all spooky that goes on in that corner.
Yeah, they're all just rushing to get through this this pack, and Flesh River not being accommodating, which of course he doesn't have to be. But certainly there's potential for fireworks there, because all of those drivers very impatient. We've got JQR as well on the mediums. He's going to be quite fast trying to get through that little pack as well. But yeah, what you were saying about pit stops, as Bailey gets 3 seconds, he's right at the back. Unfortunately, he's gone on the hards. The window, I mean, the window for hards is basically the whole race. You can do almost the whole race on the hard tires if you look after them even a little bit. But the optimal, is somewhere around lap 7 or 8 for the softs, and somewhere around probably lap 14 or 15 for the mediums.
Ross takes the next one. And this time it was Basco. Basco didn't have any DRS, but still, doing a move mediums against hards against softs is still pretty good.
Yeah, and he's 9.5 seconds off the lead, which is pretty impressive at this point. 5 laps into the race, having started all the way at the back. He's certainly in this race. He's put himself in contention with a very strong opening few laps. A little bit further up, the connection has been broken between Gary and Makenda. Gary has a lead of about 1.5 seconds as Wow passes Flesh River there. And now Icewind all over the back of his teammate as well. Flesh River, though, not jumping out of the way. Of course, he's not obliged to do anything of the sort. It is for position.
This hasn't gone well for Granat at all, as he's round and turn 3 once again, so he has to recover from that. And Icewind and Flesh River are fighting this out the hard way.
Wonder if Granat is struggling. I believe it's his first Tier 1 race.
Yeah, I think so.
He's I don't know whether he used assists in the lower tiers, but certainly if he's dropped them for this race, that might be why. As Danny and Justin absolutely not having any of that nonsense from Danny around the outside, but he got cut off there on the exit.
Flesh River are fighting side by side, and looks like, Flesh River couldn't come back at him. I assumed those medium tires were going to give him enough grip to fight his Finnish teammate, but they weren't, so no chance for Flesh River. P12 for Iceman. Good job, Astro with a penalty, and Pixel pits for the second time, so his race has gone absolutely wrong already, and Granat picks up a penalty in the pit lane. So yeah, we've got 2 drivers who are practically might as well be DNF'd at this point, unless there's a safety car.
Yeah, there can always be.
Come back.
Can always be a safety car. Granat is going to struggle to stay on the lead lap, I would suggest, very soon. Certainly if he has another incident, he's not going to be on the lead lap anymore.
Yeah.
But Hugo making a little bit of progress. He's gained 0.5 second on the leaders since we last checked in, which is about 2 laps ago, I think.
Oh, Danny is really, really interested in that P6 that Justin currently holds, and that's why he almost gets alongside through the last turn, and that means he enters the straight alongside the Haas, and now he is on the inside. And Pretorius also looks interested in that position for Justin. Justin might just lose 2 and 1 corner here. As Pretorius out accelerates him, he's got the DRS, Justin doesn't, and that is 2 places down for the Frenchman. Can he still do anything about that? Those softs will slowly fall off a cliff soon. Can he do something? He's on the outside, he's left to dry, but there's no way back on the track for him, as Pretorius completely body blocks the track limits, and Justin will need to watch both of them drive off into the distance. He was fighting hard, but he wasn't fighting hard enough. Well, his tools were. His tools.
His soft tire is not really good enough to fight that, and he's fallen off the back already there. Didn't see whether he got any damage there, Justin. He's got all of his front wing by the looks of it, but certainly some contact between the 3 of them there, and Danny making a break. He's after Astro Boys now, and he's already on the back of Astro Boys, who doesn't have DRS either, so I suspect he'll be passed on the next straight. Up front, the gap has closed. What has happened to Gary? Has his tires just completely gone? In fact, he pits along with Makenda, so Bryce assumes the lead of the race. Gary pits, so does Makenda, so do a couple of the other soft runners at the end of lap 7. Astro Boys and Justin also coming into the pits. Gary lost a lot of time on that last lap. I think he probably had a couple of sideways moments on the old softs.
Yeah, probably. It's so easy to make a mistake on traction. You just overestimate your grip a little bit, step onto the throttle too early, and the car just swings around, and you need to lift off again to catch, and it costs so much time, and it happens so easily when you're on old tires. So that might well be why Makenda got so close, but Gary still got some room to play with because Makenda's got that penalty.
Oh, 3 seconds for Danny.
Adds one to his tally as well, and it's only a 3-second gap between Hugos and Danny, which means, I mean, Hugos just driving extraordinary. He's basically, like, he's kept with Danny, and he's on hards, and, well, Danny isn't, so.
Yep, absolutely right. He's made his way through the field, and he's catching the leaders even still, and he's got no warnings either, does Hugo, so very impressive drive from him so far. Just 5 seconds off the lead of the race. Gary and Makenda have come out on either side of Fox, so Gary with a little bit of breathing space on the exit of pit road there. Makenda will have to deal with Fox probably down this next straight as Justin gets 3 more seconds to add to his penalty tally. Bryce pits at the end of lap 8 on the softs. Copy does another lap on the soft, so he's obviously okay with the tires as they are for the time being. He's going to wait all the way until lap 9, and he's going to have Danny and Pretorius all over the back of him. That might be good news for Hugo, who might just be helped out by his teammate here holding up the 2 medium runners. Oh, Julian and Fleshriver.
Yeah, they're side by side, coming through turn 2, and out to the inside goes Julian, and that opens the door for JQR. He might also take Fleshriver. No, he can't. Fleshriver gets ahead. He goes really deep into turn 4 though, but there's no overtaking spot there. Maybe JQR can swing it right now. No, I mean, realistically not gonna get past anywhere but turn 1 and maybe turn 2 on this track. But,
Danny very close to the back of Copy there, and Danny having to defend here from Pretorius. Pretorius having a look down the inside into the right-hander, but Danny just about covering that off enough. The reason Pretorius got so close was because Danny was being held up massively there by Copy on those soft tyres, and Hugo has indeed closed all the way to, 1.8 away from Pretorius, 1.7 now. So Hugo very much in this race on those hard tyres. He's going to have a long stint still on the hard tyres, but then he's going to put the mediums on, and he is going to fly at the end of the race.
Pretorius doesn't find his way past Danny now, but he's got a huge advantage in that in form of that DRS, and I wonder if he's going to be able to put that to use and get past Danny. I mean, if you cover the inside into turn 1 and you've got some battery, it is pretty doable to defend a position for a long time, even if you're slower than the car behind. So Pretorius might not be able to make quick work of Danny in this case. So not all hope lost for Danny just because he doesn't have DRS and Pretorius does.
Yep, absolutely right. As Astro Boys passes Fox, that the 2 cars that are not on the same strategy. Astro Boys has already pitted, Fox has not. As was that a big moment there for Pretorius out of that right-hander? He got very sideways.
Oh,
Danny with 3 more seconds.
Oh, he's leading
So
the
we're
charge.
up to 6. Yeah, we're up to 6 seconds now for Danny, and he's obviously trying pretty hard to get away from Pretorius. He's got a few more laps to do on those medium tyres, and yeah, a lot of warnings and a lot of penalties for Danny so far.
There's also a move waiting to happen for Copy on Fox, but it's not happening here. Copy, of course, slowly losing positions to multiple people who've already pitted for fresh hards, and he's slowly, he's spreading the field of the net leaders of this race by by holding them up one by one. And Gary puts in a 17.8 on those hards. That's a really, really good time, especially at this point in the race. So
yep, certainly is. That was certainly considerably faster than the fastest lap that I did in Tier 3. On the same strategy, JQR again all over the back of Fleshriver. Fleshriver had DRS last time from Julian, so he was able to defend. And up front, Hugo is at least as fast and maybe faster than the 2 cars ahead of him. He's 2 seconds off the lead of the race now, as we've lost Granat again. He's had another incident there, and now he isn't on the lead lap anymore, so that is effectively his race over, even in the event of a safety car. He needs to rejoin the track properly.
He
Oh,
does.
as he reverses into the barrier there, but does the old Austin Powers, so we'll leave him to that.
It's the Austin Powers with the invisible walls, I guess.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he's ghosted anyway, so it's
Yeah,
not too bad. He's probably gonna pick up a penalty for this, and then, I mean, like an in-game cutting penalty. No, he's not. And then he will probably retire in the pits, I think. Unless he just wants to take that as practice.
So Pretorius again all over the back of Danny. Not quite close enough this last time.
Oh, Copy's past Shaq? No.
Yep, that just happened, yep.
Yeah, okay.
On the fresh tyres. So Copy about a second and a half behind Astro Boys. He lost out quite a bit with the 2 extra laps he did on those soft tyres. They really were slow laps for Copy because those tyres not in good shape.
Oh, there's a move waiting to happen if Fox on Shaka now. Shaka's made a mistake, he's locked up big time, and now Fox wants to get alongside into turn 1. That's dangerous. Where's Justin come from? A complete corner cut as well from Fox, and round goes Fox. What's going on? We've lost Wow, I think. Oh, how's that entire... What? And
yeah,
Wow
he just tapped the wall, and we have a VSC. So...
Oh my god.
So the VSC's come at an interesting time. Danny and Pretorius are passing the pit lane on those mediums. Are they going to pit? Yes, they are both going to pit. So this is it's not a free pit stop, but it's certainly a cheap pit stop.
Discounted, yeah.
For both Danny, yeah, absolutely. They gain
Oh!
at least a few seconds. Pretorius getting himself 5 seconds. That's so unnecessary.
Yeah, he had a hot date or something. He needed to get into
And
the pits
Hugo
very
pitting as
quickly.
well. So Hugo going on the mediums, I assume, and trying to go to the end of the race on the mediums. So he takes advantage too. A bunch of other drivers come in. The VSC has expired. Flesh River and JQR have also come into the pits with. They've almost not gained from that though. Only a couple of seconds, if anything, that they'll have gained. But that's big news for Hugo in particular, who is forced onto a strategy that he may not have wanted to be on. And he's going to have to take those those mediums 23 laps to the end of the race. And it's doable, but it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, Gary is in a really good position. Danny's in a decent one. And Julian lets his teammate pass. And now he's... Oh, is he blocking... Is he blocking Danny intentionally? I mean, you know, within the realms of legality. And Danny won't be able to, like, boost past him here or anything. So... he just gave his teammate, like, absolute cover. There's nothing Danny can do.
And the dirty air is a big problem for him as well, Danny. He's really struggling to hang on to the back of that racing point. Julian, I don't think will have DRS on his teammate, so Danny should be passed the next time by, and maybe more than one car will be past Julian next time by as well. Julian does go defensive, but it shouldn't matter at all. As Danny goes around the outside, he should have more grip.
Yeah, he's swinging it, and yeah, keeps up the momentum through that corner, so gets the better exit.
Yeah, and doesn't lose a pace on Pretorius. Trying to go around the outside of Makenda in turn 2. Pretorius on the better tyres. Can he swing it around? He's not quite ahead enough into turn 3 to be able to take the line, and Makenda keeps that position.
Yeah, nicely done from him. And now Makenda also needs to get past Mr. Altina, okay, Julian, if he wants to keep up with Danny. Because that's where Makenda's fight originally was, and Julian has, yeah, I mean, he's gone out of shape there. And he's still fighting this with Pretorius. What's going on? He has to cut the chicane, and now he splits Makenda and Pretorius for a second, but now finally he has to yield out. But he has to, but he doesn't. Just refuses to lose a position here. And now Yugos also got himself into that fight, and that was really scary, and it ends like it has. Oh, never mind, he's not dead. I thought he was dead. Well,
I thought he was completely dead there, but somehow doesn't lose any part of his car or his front wing there.
Oh. I jumped to a quick conclusion there. I saw he was out of shape coming towards the tire barrier. I thought, yep, he's gone. I can pretend it already happened.
So Danny with the fastest lap of the race. He was given a little bit of breathing space by that. He's got 3 seconds on Hugo as Bryce passes Julian as well.
Speaking of Hugo, yeah, Hugo passed Pretorius as well. Okay, yellows, we've lost Basco again. Well, no, it's actually the first time. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's go down in P16.
He's not even
Oh, Julian fighting back on Bryce here. And Julian has got the move done on Bryce. So Julian not lying down. He is fighting all of these positions pretty much.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, the mob! Why? He's not happy with the grip of that car. That doesn't look drivable to me. Oh, please don't die.
Oh, no, and he spins all the way around as Julian. So that's the end of his challenge, at least for the time being.
Goodbye, Spinderella. Goodbye. I'm so gonna talk to you about this in interviews.
So Julian spins again. So yeah, Julian having real struggles here. He's completely cooked those tires.
Our defending champion, by the way. I think.
What is he doing? I think he's. Yeah, I don't know about this, Julian. I think you need to be.
Like 120 tire temperatures, I'm sure.
You need to be at least trying to drive this back properly.
This is not scary at all for a while.
Hugo on Makenda here down the front straight. That should be a straightforward move for Hugo. And down the inside he goes into turn 1. Yep, it certainly was. So Hugo making some headway there. He's already within 2 seconds now of Danny as well in front of him. So 20 laps to go. And Hugo, well, it's going to be another one of these races where he's battling both tyre wear and other drivers on track as well. With his fresh mediums, does the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, even though he probably... Oh, yeah, well, okay, that's pit lane. That was obvious.
Julian retires in the pits. So yeah, that's the end of his challenge, unfortunately. JQR and Bailey side by side. Where is this? Into turn 4 and spinning around is JQR, and didn't see exactly what happened there. Bailey, don't know whether he gave enough room, and Bailey in fact waits for him, so I guess he feels that he didn't give enough room to JQR. So unfortunate for Bailey, but that is the end of that battle as Justin gets 3 more seconds. So I'm just going to keep across the penalty situation at the front here. Icewind, who hasn't stopped yet, leads this race by, 8 seconds or so. Yeah. He has
Victorious
1 penalty.
On Makenda in the meantime, he goes to the inside, and Makenda might cut back on him, but I think this is a done move. Yes, it is. Go on.
Gary has 1 warning. I believe Danny has 2 penalties, so 6 seconds. Hugo has 1 warning. Pretorius just has the 5-second pit lane speeding penalty. So Hugo in a very good position, Gary in a very good position as well. Hugo, though, right on the bat now of the Gary-Danny battle. Bailey retires in the pitch, unfortunately, so that we've lost Bailey, and we now have 17 runners.
So I think he's got a new. I think he's Bailey the bin man now. I think there was something about that in chat. Ocean Chief, can you confirm, please? The tires will have after lap 11. Well, you could have messaged Kane on Discord. He would have been able to fix that. That's fine.
Wow and JQR. Wow passing JQR down the inside into turn 6. So Wow at 12. Yeah, I didn't see what happened there. Presumably JQR got a bit sideways. But now the situation is an interesting one with the drivers that are in the net lead of the race. Gary, Danny and Hugo. Danny acting as a little bit of a spoiler here because Hugo does have DRS, but so does Danny. So a little bit of a DRS train.
Oh!
Danny,
Danny sends it from so far back. He gets alongside, but it's not enough. He doesn't have enough room to build some speed, but now he's got the absolute overspeed coming to turn 4. Is he able to swing it around the outside? That is so risky, and it's going to work out. What a brilliant move from Danny. I did not see that coming at all, and Hugo's just going to take the open door.
Yeah, Hugo taking advantage. He was close enough to take advantage there. He's going to be down the inside, I think, into the chicane. Gary's going to fight it as much as he possibly can, but it's not enough. And Hugo up to P3 and net P2. As Danny, yeah, as you mentioned, forced his way past Gary there. That was a very opportunistic move. And now the situation is a very interesting one because Danny needs a gap. He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, remember. And Hugo will be chasing him on medium tires, but Danny now does not have DRS, which is
Yeah.
crucial as far as his race is concerned.
I mean, that move was absolutely great. Like, I loved that one. But it might actually... Well, it was probably worth it, but he's got the problem now that Yugos also got through, so now Yugos honestly probably just gets a free overtake here. He's got better tires and he's got DRS. So I think there's not much Danny can do about this, and as soon as, well, Yugos is passed, he will probably just check out.
Yep, I would think so, and he also has battery as well. We see Hugo so often just keeping his battery until he needs it, and that's what he's been doing in this race as well. He's got 70% of battery. Danny barely has any battery at all, and Hugo will have to... Well, will have to be a... Well, he doesn't really have to do very much, does he? He just has to be close in Sector 3, he just has to use his battery down the straight, and he'll be passed into Turn 1. Danny has to get the best run he possibly can out of the last corner and just hope that multiple mistakes are made by the Williams driver behind him.
I mean, Danny must just hope that Yugos gets past him without Danny having to use much battery and losing much time, because then he might be able to use the DRS of Hugo and run away from Gary and, you know, clear him out of the penalty range. I think that's like basically the only option he has at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then he can maybe get that win in case
Here he goes.
Yugos tires give up towards the end, as he makes an absolutely like that was a routine move. He makes that stick.
Yep, pretty much all he had to do. Well, he had a lot more grip than Danny did, and the crucial thing now is that he gets away. Icewind still in the lead of this race. He's yet to stop. Where is he going to come out? He's going to come out, I think, behind Justin. There's a big gap between Justin and Flesh River in P10 and 11. I think that's where Icewind's going to come out on those fresh medium tyres. So he's going to have a charge towards the end of the race. He only has 3 seconds of penalty, so it could be a good result here for Icewind. He's got probably, he might even pit this lap to put on the medium tyres. So Icewind can get some work done here in the second half of this race, but the situation, as I say that, yeah, commentators curse.
My God.
3 more seconds for Icewind, so he's up to 6.
You have absolutely no empathy left for him, do you? So sad. Well, just curses him. Danny, yeah, basically about to drop out of that window from Hugo.
And he already has, so no DRS this lap for Danny. Hugo doing a very fast lap using, he barely used any battery, in fact. Did a 17.1, Danny not as fast. So Hugo now has some work to do, but he is certainly in the box seat for this race. No penalties as of yet. I'm just going to check his warnings. He had 1 warning last I checked. He still has 1 warning. And yeah, he's in a very, very strong position. Gary still with no penalties, just the 1 warning for him as well. He is on older tyres, so Danny gets 3 more seconds. So Danny is now fighting, 9 seconds. He's fighting now to even get a good result in this race. At the moment, he's, well, I think he's somewhere around net P6 or 7. So he's going to have to go a little bit faster than the cars behind him, which he should be able to do. He's on fresher tyres, but certainly he's given himself a lot of work to do with those penalties.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna break his race in a way, which is a shame because he's in a really good position. I mean, he's in net P2 and he's got someone with a very shaky strategy up the road. Gary doesn't have a penalty, right?
Gary does not have a penalty, no. He has 1 warning.
He's in a really good position. Like,
yep, he is.
He's on for P2, and if Yugos falls apart, which he might well, then Gary will have front row. Well, yeah, he has. I'm blanking.
Yeah, he will be in good position to take advantage of it. He's got Pretorius behind him, who's on better tyres than he is, as Icewind does pit from the lead, and as forecast, he's going to come out behind Justin. So Icewind P10 on track at the moment, but with the fresher tyres, will have a lot of pace now on those fresh mediums. So I would expect to see the fastest lap of the race from Icewind very soon indeed, and I'd expect him to climb up the order as well.
Fedavara and chat is still hanging on to, well, the belief that Yugos will win this race, which He might well. I don't know. Those tires are probably gonna
No,
get, like,
I think he's fine. I think he's fine.
yeah.
I mean, Hugo's is very good on tires, and I saw a couple of corners at the beginning of the stint. While he was behind other cars, he was babying those tires. They were being treated very, very gently indeed, and I think he's absolutely fine. I think he'll be able to get to the end without too many problems. He's got well, it'll be a 21 lap stint on the medium tires, which isn't comfortable, but also, yeah, I would suggest that is very possible indeed.
I mean, yeah, I actually for a fact know it is. I did a practice session, and Euros was in that practice session as well, and someone did like 23 laps on mediums, and then they were absolutely dead, and he tried to stretch for softs. He wanted to know what happened, and well, we know, like, both tires basically die at the end, so I expect Yugos will come out at around like 70 to 75%, but
Yep.
unless insane RNG bad luck, he'll probably not get a puncture, so he's fine. Yeah.
Yep, unseen by us, Icewind has passed Justin for P9, so Icewind absolutely charging now on those fresh medium tires. As I mentioned, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's got the tools to do it. I suspect it was down the front straight. We got Pretorius, as I mentioned before, a few laps better tires, a few laps, 5-lap delta for those hards compared to Gary's in front of him, but he will have the DRS advantage as well. I'm just going to check his penalties. He just has in fact, he has the 5 seconds and 3 more now, so he has 8 seconds worth of penalties.
So he's, well, roughly in the same spot as Danny, basically, because he's got 1 second less, but a fresher tire, so will probably close by a little bit. So we'll be close towards the end, like between Danny and Pretorius, I imagine, but both will drop, so it'll be interesting to see where they end up.
Yep, absolutely right.
Did Pretorius and Gary just make contact?
I wasn't watching. I was watching the battle for 6, 7, 8. But it's possible they were running pretty closely together. Pretorius decided not to use his battery there on the front straight. Maybe he could have gotten past Gary, but I guess decided to save his battery instead. Icewind did do the fastest lap of the race. He's done a 16.5, so he's going to be on the back of that 6, 7, 8 battle very soon indeed. Yeah, 1.5 seconds now, the gap between Icewind and the cars in front of him, and I just wonder if he's going to try and push and get DRS
So,
at
yeah,
the beginning of this lap. Yeah, we lost Pixel in turn 2 by the looks of it, so exit to turn 2, Pixel going around.
easy to drop
And he
that
has-
traction in basically
yeah.
all of these corners.
And he has a lot of damage, so he's going to have to pit.
Basco with a penalty. Basco is also very much off the back here. And
Icewind, no DRS yet, but the thing is he's got no batteries. He needs to save his battery here, Icewind. He doesn't need his battery to get up to these guys. He's got better tyres, so he just needs to not hit the button for a couple of laps.
as he locks up massively into turn 2, but I mean, it's gonna be fun. He can do on those tires basically what he wants to, just can't crash and go off track.
Gary and Pretorius still relatively close to each other. Pretorius having a good look at the back of that racing point. It's very difficult to follow though within this in this middle sector. Gary defending very well so far. Pretorius does have a slight battery advantage, but only a slight one.
Another thing, I mean, another driver I haven't mentioned in quite a while as well. He had that spin, which we didn't really see because there was a crash somewhere else on the track in turn 4, and he spun after the chicane. And since then, he's basically just been out of this race. He won last season, but he's running in P11 right now. I think I only saw one penalty of him so far.
Icewind on copy here.
Oh.
Just looking at
Also,
Icewind.
Pretorius got Gary. Finally.
Oh yeah, he did down the inside by the looks of it into. Oh, as what happened there? Icewind going wide, and that was a. I don't know what happened. Maybe expected Copy to defend. I'm not exactly sure, but in any case, he went off the track to the outside. Astro Boy's lost a position as well there, so didn't see what happened. Astro Boy's maybe running wide as well. There was a car coming out of the pit lane, which I think might have confused matters. Yeah, it was Pixel, but certainly Icewind losing out there. Copy is the beneficiary of Astro Boys going off the track, and Icewind got 3 more seconds as well there by going out wide on the entry to turn 1. So gives him even more work to do towards the end of this race. 10 laps to go.
Definitely a major setback for him as he almost goes off track. The car was fully sideways. He managed to catch that. That's
big moment for Icewind. Yeah, is properly stepping out the back end there. Icewind trying very hard to get past these guys. He doesn't have the battery, as I mentioned before, and the issue that he's got is that the cars in front of him. That's why I'll get 3 seconds. The cars in front of him have DRS as well. So the net lead of the race at the moment, Hugo, is some way ahead of everyone. He's come from P17 on the grid. He's driven quite brilliantly with the strategy. He took advantage of the virtual safety car that looked like it was going to spoil his plans, but he's turned it, for the time being, into a positive. He's got to keep the tyres nice, though, towards the end of this race. Second place net at the moment is Gary, who doesn't have any penalties. Danny has 9 seconds. Pretorius has 8.
It looks like Danny will be able to keep his car ahead of Pretorius by the end. So Danny probably ahead of Pretorius, and we've lost someone. Who's that? This guy yellows. What was that? Oh, it was probably just Granite.
I think it was Granite, yeah, who's I think 2 laps down now, having a moment in Sector 3 as Icewind. Speaking of moments in Sector 3, Icewind with a big one there. Granite has spun again, so around he goes in the penultimate corner. Icewind has managed to save at least a little bit of battery for this attack on Astro Boys. Astro Boys has more than half of his battery though, so that's the problem that he's got. Icewind deciding not to go this time.
What's the penalties for Bryce, Copy, and Astro?
Good question. I will check. Copy, I've not seen one. Bryce has 2 warnings, still only 2 warnings, so no penalty for Bryce. Astro has 3 seconds.
Okay, well, let's do some math then. I think Danny... Oh, Pixel. Okay. Danny stays ahead of this group right now. He also stays ahead of Pretorius. So Danny is on for a P4 right now. And actually he's also ahead of McKenna, I think.
Yeah,
so,
I think so too.
Yeah, so he's actually still on for P3, even though he's got 9 seconds. So this might be a decent finish for Danny, but probably like not as good as he wanted. Icewind. Yeah, I mean, he's just struggling under the pressure now. He knows he needs to deliver right now, and that mistake he made there in turn 1, or I don't even know if it was his mistake, but whatever happened there just set him back so much, it put the pressure even higher, and he seems to be unable to deliver.
Yep, absolutely right. He's trying very hard to get to Astro Boys there, but not really able to do it. He's got Pixel behind him as well. He's lapped. Pixel wisely.
Copy's fighting with Bryce Evolution, and it looks, well, Bryce is ahead, but Copy's got the inside and then bump a little bit on the way towards turn 2, and now Copy finally breaks through. I mean, I think it was one of those situations with a cork in the bottle, like you always mentioned, and now Bryce is finally cracked, and Copy might be able to close the gap towards...
Oh, Astro on the inside of Bryce as well. Wow, what a move. And Icewind going to try and follow as well. So Bryce losing 3 places by the looks of it within a couple of corners, as Icewind does get the move done on Bryce on the inside into the hairpin. So that's one of those cars cleared for Icewind. He still should have much better tyres, so there's the potential for Icewind to get past this group and then to get a gap. He's still got a lot of work to do though.
Yeah, I wonder what Copy's gonna be able to do. I mean, maybe he's got some pace in that car, but probably not enough to be a threat to Pretorius, Danny, or maybe McKenna. McKenna's got 1 penalty, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Icewind all over the back of Astro here. Really tried hard to get the exit there, and he's going to use his battery this time. He's got a lot of it to use. Astro Boy is going to try and defend the inside here. Icewind going to swing to the outside and swing it all the way around the outside, went very deep in there, but it looks like he might just have it. He's got the traction on the exit. He's got the battery to be able to fight this all the way down to turn 2. He's got the inside for turn 2, and he is going to get that position up to P7 for Icewind, and it'll be much, much easier, I would suggest, for him to deal with Copy, who does not have DRS.
Yeah, I mean, he's finally making those moves, but he would have needed to make those moves a little bit earlier. So, in the end, probably will still not be a great result, as Wow pits for the fastest lap. He's not going to give that satisfaction to, I assume... Oh, it's Icewind, actually. Yeah. Icewind has got the fastest lap
Icewind
right
on
now,
those mediums.
But
Wow, I think... Yep, I would suggest that he will beat it with 5 laps to do it. Gap up front is closing between Hugo and Danny, just barely, but it is closing. 2.5 seconds now, and I just wonder what the tyre situation is for Hugo. I wonder how close he's running to the edge on those medium tyres. His pace suggests that they have fallen off to some extent, or he's doing some sort of emergency saving.
Well, he knows he's under absolutely no pressure at all, because the next car is actually fighting him properly is gonna be Gary, and he is like more than 6 seconds down the road, and even if he just takes 1 second per lap out of these tires now, he would probably still win the race on penalties. So there's absolutely no need for Nugos to push more than he needs to.
Yeah, presumably he knows exactly what the penalty situation is. Icewind did not manage to get past Copy, by the way, on the front straight that last time. So he's got a little bit more work to do, and he looks like he's going to have 4 laps. If he can get the move done this lap, he's going to have 4 laps to try and pull a gap and make up some of that that penalty time. It looks like he might get points, but more than that, he's struggling a little bit. He needs to be very speedy in those last few laps. Makenda gets 3 more seconds, and that's 6 seconds now for Makenda.
Copy.
Which, yeah, that certainly puts him behind Copy.
Where can Copy actually go? Let's. Pretorius will get 8, so it's 13. Okay, Copy is behind Pretorius as of now, so it's probably just P5 for him.
Yeah, I think it's P5. Gap up front now, 2 seconds, so...
Icewind
Icewind, this time on Copy. So Icewind now has, 4 laps to sprint away as far as he can on those medium tyres. They will still be in very good shape. 9 laps is not a long time on the medium tyres, so they'll still be fast. But he's got to be as fast as he possibly can at this point, because he needs those gaps. He's got 12 seconds, I think, of penalties, and those around him do not have many at all. So
gets a second one, so...
Oh, that could be a big deal for Icewind. That's certainly in play.
It's a stretch, I think. 12 seconds against 6, and gap is
yeah, he needs to gain 4.5 seconds or so, as Wow does a 15.4.
Yeah, I mean, Wow just takes that point away for, well, just for the statistics. His race has not gone really well, so might as well take what you can.
Yep, absolutely right. Icewind doing everything he can to break DRS here from Copy. Copy trying desperately to stay in DRS, but he's not done it. And Icewind will be able to sprint away here. He's done a 17.0, which is a fast lap on those medium tyres. He needs more of those. The gap up front, 1.9 now. Hugo is holding it, at least for the time being. It looks like he's going to be absolutely fine on those medium tyres as he runs quite wide there in turn 4. Did he get a warning for that? It looked like a warning. Yeah, he did get a warning for that. So that's his second warning. So that's where he is at the moment. One more warning until he gets a penalty.
Yeah, it's not enough for anyone else to get interested though, because even if he did, he's still got 7 seconds, and I think we've lost. Yeah, okay, it's Pixel.
Yeah, Pixel again.
Him and Wow, and goes off in turn 5. So yeah, didn't go well for him at all. Wait, does he actually have a full-time? Because we've lost Jensen from the full-time drivers list, in case someone didn't know. He has retired after, well, temporarily after Silverstone. So
yep,
I don't
after
know
a few.
This is a temporary arrangement with Pixel, or if he's actually just driving here now.
Yep, I don't know either. But it'll be We'll find out in due course, I'm sure. We have 2 laps to go in this race, and yeah, the gap up front is holding, so Hugo looks like he does have this. He wouldn't be driving this fast if he thought it was even remotely close on tyres. So he is absolutely fine on those mediums. He's got a lap and a half to do. Danny is in P2 on the road, but with 9 seconds worth of penalty, so he will drop certainly behind Gary. Pretorius has 8 seconds of penalty, so he too will drop behind Gary. Makenda has 6 seconds, and Icewind has 12 seconds. So I think Copy now is in a net P5, as he has been. Yeah, as he has been for the last few laps.
Icewind knows no limits other than track limits. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I fear no thing but that track limits. It scares me.
But that tier 2 driver grid scares me.
Icewind,
Sorry.
Icewind trying his best here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to jump Astra Boys. He's only got 3.3, and I think Bryce is going to be ahead of him as well. So it looks like P9 for Icewind as he crosses the line to start his last lap. So do the drivers ahead of him. Hugo on those mediums, as I mentioned, the gap now 1.6, but Hugo looks as though he has plenty in hand to win this race from P17 on the grid. And well, he asked what he had to do last week to get a driver of the day. I just wonder if we'll think about it at the end of the race. I just wonder if we're going to have to give this one to Hugo. I suspect we probably will.
I'll have to find some excuse. Let me quickly look at the positions gained. Let me find something. Icewind gained 14. Yeah, no, there's no way. Okay.
So Icewind P6 on the road, but yeah, as we mentioned, he won't be P6 in the final standings. Danny getting DRS from Hugo on the final finishing straight, but it's not going to make any difference. Hugo wins the race. Fantastic drive once again from our championship leader and champion in waiting. Danny finishes P2, Pretorius P3, but Gary, of course, jumps the pair of them with his no penalties. He finishes second, Danny third, Pretorius fourth. Copy does jump Makenda and Icewind. He's P5, Makenda P6, Bryce P7, Astro P8, and Icewind didn't quite manage to get the gaps that he needed at the end. They took a little bit too long to pass the drivers around him. He ends up with 2 points for 9th place, and JQR, that is going to hold up. Oh no, it's not going to hold up because WoW getting himself a point there. In fact, yeah, he gets 2 points because he had the fastest lap as well. So WoW with a very speedy final sector. We thought he was completely out of it.
He must be having a rush of excitement. It's a new feeling to gain positions due to penalties. Finally knows.
Yeah, absolutely. So JQR just misses out, and yeah, Justin with all of those penalties all the way down to P12. But that's your Hungarian Grand Prix, folks. It was a fun one. Not necessarily action-packed at the end, but certainly it was an interesting one for a little while. But Hugo once again coming out on top. I don't know how many wins that is this season, but it's plenty.
I'm sorry, Pixel, I didn't see a difference, so no, I couldn't. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
What did Pixel say in chat? Let's have a look.
He asked if...
Can you tell I didn't? Yeah, no.
Oh no.
No, we...
I'm on the hit
Oh
list now.
dear.
Luckily I don't own a car, so I'm safe from him. No, there are no car bombs to be installed here. So yeah, I mean, that's the end of that race, and you know, yeah, you basically said it already. He
Yeah,
asked
I
us last week what he asked to do. You know,
I think this is what he had to
And
do.
then
He
he
didn't
did.
qualify on the hards. I asked him to and I actually, yeah, I found out on Wednesday you actually cannot qualify on hards anymore
true.
because you don't get a set of hards even if you choose harder anymore.
qualifying
I hadn't
intermediates,
realised
there
that
you
until
go.
the other day. So yeah, qualifying on intermediates was was maybe the thing that he had to do. But no, it's Hugo's driver of the day as far as I'm concerned. It was a brilliant drive.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I'd probably be mad if I didn't. So,
to win the race by.
He would be mad if I had something to say about that decision.
And not only to win the race, but to win the race by 8 seconds, having started all the way down there. It was pretty much a perfect drive from our championship leader and, as I said, champion in waiting, Mr. Hugo, who joins us in the...
You're trying so hard to jinx him because you hope something will happen in the next race.
So, of course, I mean, that's your job as a commentator. Go on then, Hugo.
So now the real question is, did I get driver of the day?
You did get driver of the day. We weren't able to come up with a reason.
I tried really hard. You
did try really hard, but yeah, no, you were driver of the day. It was a fantastic drive. I mean, what happened in qualifying first of all? Because my theory was at the time that you didn't have a delta, and so you didn't know how fast you were going, and so you misjudged the where you would qualify on the softs. You tried to get P11, you ended up all the way down P18. Is that what happened?
I did have a delta. I was just really bad at judging it.
Oh no!
I slowed down too much at the line.
I'm not sure we should give him drive. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, quali's on a Saturday, okay? Quali's on a Saturday.
Okay.
Race is on a Saturday as well. I'm sorry. This is tier 1, I'm sorry.
Oh man, but yeah, okay. So I mean, fair enough. It's hard to judge in the moment how quick you're going there. But yeah, I mean the race, like you started on the hards. What was going like? Was it close with the virtual safety car? What were you thinking when switching onto the mediums?
In my mind, I thought if I don't pit now, then I can't win the race.
Okay.
So I just decided to go onto the mediums.
What is going on?
I mean, it was like if I stayed out, I'd have been close to where Icewind ended, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because the train was a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of like how the like, was it close on tires? Were you comfortable to the end? It looked comfortable from here.
I had to tire save as soon as I got into the lead, so I was driving slower, but I finished on 70%, I think.
Okay, yeah. That's because yeah, I saw you like for a few corners that you were behind the other cars before the start finish straight. You were very, very gentle, and I figured, you know, probably you were at least thinking quite a lot about tire saving at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
also
that
makes
sense.
Timo's tire wear even more impressive.
Oh yeah.
On,
What the
I have no clue
on the
why, but I'm
hard?
gonna
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, I did the calculation after sort of post race on Friday, and I looked at my hard stint, and in the 9 laps that I did on hards, I ended up at 16%. And Timo ended
I'm not
up.
gonna talk about it.
Well, he got 2.5% a lap, so yeah, you can. I guess after 9 laps, he would have been at like 23 or 24 or something. So yeah, he was a lot harder on tires than I would say. I was
driving
looking
really
up
fast. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's true as well. I mean,
yeah, and I was pushing
we saw it. Yeah. I mean, we saw it. Timo was driving really fast. That's true.
I wasn't, but I tried. Okay. Why do you have to be like this? My God. Okay, go on. Sorry. This is about me, my failures.
Yeah, I completely lost the thread of where we were in the interview. So Hugo won. Spoiler alert. So did I have any more questions? I don't think I had any more. I mean, just in terms of like, you know, how you were feeling at the beginning of that race, were you thinking that the win was still possible?
I did actually. It was a very small chance, but I did think if I get some good fortune, then I think I could win. And it.
Yep. Happened. Well, I mean, I'd struggle to say that you had a lot of good fortune. Honestly, I think the virtual safety car at the time I thought was a disaster for you, because I hadn't thought that the mediums would last, and then you pitted, and I realized immediately what you were doing, and I was like, well, maybe. So I wouldn't necessarily say that was super good fortune.
Yeah, I mean,
but you made it work. So go on.
I was gonna say, and I held my speech during the formation lap about how, like, you guys always, like, when he bottles qualifying, he has, like, some good fortune, and then he just absolutely dominates the race from there, but this time, like, you didn't even have anything that I would just consider to be lucky in some way, so, like, makes it even more impressive.
Thank you.
I'm simping hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. In all seriousness, that was an incredible drive. We got Spa next. It's Spa next, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Spa?
I am bored of the F1 version of Spa. It is not very fun.
I agree.
Really?
Yes.
Why is it not very fun?
It just doesn't flow like it should. Where I find it.
I struggle with Spa because Spa's one of those tracks where, because it doesn't look like a particularly unforgiving track. I'm like, I'm pushing track limits and I'm doing all sorts of stuff and putting wheels on gravels and it bites me quite a lot. So I end up by the time the race comes around, I end up sort of treating it almost like a street circuit where I'm being very careful, because otherwise I just die. I feel like, I still love I love the F1 version of Spa. I love it in F1 cars. I think it's got lots and lots of really fun corners. So yeah, I don't know.
It is a good track, but I don't know. It's something about it I just don't like. I don't know what it is.
I have the same, I think. I don't know why. Like, I like the track in theory, but it's like, I don't know.
You said the F1 version of Spa. What are you comparing it to, and what's different about the other versions?
Oh, like on the F1 version, the curbs are different. The bus stop is horrendous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it just the car doesn't feel connected to the road.
Yeah, that's certainly. I have driven Spa in F1 2020 actually, but certainly in 2018 and 19, yeah, it's sort of the sort of floaty feeling means that Spa is a lot worse. I tend to agree. But yeah, that's fair enough. It's certainly it's a really fun track in the GT3 cars in ACC. I think it's maybe the most fun. No? Okay.
You need downforce. There's no downforce. Come on.
That's true. But I don't know. I really like Pouhon in general is a really fun corner. I really like it even in GT cars. But yeah, presumably, you're confident of winning. I would think. I think you've shown several times this season that you are by some distance the best driver in the field.
I don't think anyone has won. Maybe Etnik or someone has, but I don't know if anyone's won 3 races in a row.
Is that right? Surely.
And the way my wins have came this season, I've only got 2 wins in a row each time.
Okay.
I haven't got 3 yet. So.
Okay, yeah. I just checked the season 4 standings because I had it in my head that Julian must have done that at some point in season 4, but no, he didn't. He didn't win 3 in a row. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one. Maybe that is true that no one has won 3 in a row.
And I also said in just before Austria, I said I'm not winning Austria because it's not part of the pattern. I can't win 3 races in a row. So and I didn't win it.
Oh no, hang on. Astro Boys won 3 in a row in season 2.
Yeah.
Austria, Britain, Germany. There we go. I found one.
There were none in season 3. Maybe season 1 another one. So it's.
Let's have a look at season 1.
Is there one of the first?
I don't think there is results for season 1.
No, there is. Oh no, El Sergios won 4 in a row in season 1. He won Baku, Spain, Monaco, Canada. So yeah. But it's not been done since season 2 at least. Nobody's won 3 in a row since season 2, and nobody's won 4 in a row since season 1.
And nobody has won 5 in a row. Also.
Oh yeah, copy just messaged that with me messaged me that as well. El Sergios with 4 in a row. So yeah, thanks, copy.
The stats guy, unofficially.
Hey. But yeah, congratulations. we look forward to more performances like that, and looking forward to reasons to not give you driver of the day. But yeah, I'll put you back in the Corona Club now. Thanks for speaking to us, Hugo. And we're going to bring in our other man up front from the north of England. It is Mr. Danny, who, again, I mean, the pace was, again, spectacular, Danny. And again, the penalties came back to bite you a little bit.
I only lost one place, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Happy.
Yeah, you ended up with you ended up third because Makenda also had Pretorius also had a lot of penalties. He had the 5 seconds for the pit lane.
I didn't know that.
Oh, didn't you?
No.
Okay, that was a nice surprise as you crossed the line then.
Yes. It was a big surprise. I was like, wait, hang on a minute. I might still be on podium.
Yep, and you were. Any way you could have beaten Hugo today? I mean, it was a fantastic drive on the different strategy.
I will say hypothetically that if I didn't have any penalties, I could have maybe fought him a bit harder when he did overtake me, and then maybe stayed with him. So I was like, I didn't get more than 4 seconds away from him, and his tyres at the end was at 70%. He finished on 70, but if I was there with no pens, I might have forced him to use more and then get a punch and stuff. That's the only reason I could imagine.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like with him being so close on tyres, if you fight him, then he's forced to use more tyres to try and get past you.
Yeah. Did you see my overtake on Gary by any chance?
Did we see your overtake? When was that? It was. Hang on, let me try and find it on stream.
We did.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Up to turn 4. Yeah, we did.
What about the turn 2 bit?
Yeah. The entire thing. I shouted,
yeah, that was
lost.
just meant to be like a show to the inside, to like try to scare him. But he started braking harder, and I was like, "It's actually on for a move now." So
I
like,
absolutely lost it. You can watch it back.
I know which one you're talking about. It was a fantastic move. It also lost Gary P3 to Hugo. And we were wondering, actually, I mean, did you it was a fantastic move. Was there a part of you that regretted it because you gave Hugo the DRS advantage? We were thinking that maybe you could have defended from Hugo with Gary's DRS.
I could have wanted to maybe get Gary as a buffer from me to Hugo, but it just happened all so quick that I think the first into turn 2 scared Gary, and then he was scared for the rest of that lap and maybe a bit of the race because he fell off quite a bit. So yeah. I said to Hugo towards the end of the lap, and I went, that was a mugging. It really was.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, Hugo was in perfect position to take advantage as well. So it's a good driving from him too. But yeah, I mean, another podium. I mean, we said so many podiums now at this point in Tier 1. You've got the consistency down by the looks of it, at least to the extent to get regular podiums. How are you feeling about the rest of the season and Spa coming up?
It's all blind, to be honest. I've not done any of the tracks.
Okay.
So setups will be fun. Find out.
Yeah, it's and yeah, Timo told me I watched half of the Rapid Racers race last night.
Oh, no.
And Timo told me what happened, and really good that you got the podium today because that sounds like it was absolutely heartbreaking.
It's a bit heartbreaking, but it happens. We move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done on the third place.
Thank you.
And we'll leave it there, I think, for interviews for the time being, because we were a while talking to Hugo and nobody else has shown up in the SLR Discord. So I think we can leave it there. And I don't know, they're always like reasonably satisfying races, those ones where you have different strategies and you're waiting to see how they unfold. Not necessarily for the on-track action wasn't necessarily amazing at the end, but I think it was a fun race today.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There was always the possibility of something happening, maybe with that bold strategy call from you guys. I mean, I had no clue how it was gonna play out, and like it sounds it got somewhat close, but I mean, the competition probably has to step up its game a little bit for the future races if they want to deny you guys the 3 in a row. So that's gonna be interesting to see next week in Spa.
Yep, it certainly is. Yeah, looking forward to Spa. Should be a fun one.
Always
I mean,
always.
yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the run up the hill, every single lap, lap 1, it's always a battle for position right at the front. You get 3-4 wide in that sort of situation, and yeah, the battles all the way through the field. It is a little bit of a DRS train track, but it's a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and there are going to be quite a few races at Spa next week. Of course, as Tussarel and SLR both go there, so we've got 7 races coming up next week that are all at Spa in the usual schedule, as in the live stream's description. And also we've got a more Hungaroring, and well, Tussarel drives Hungaroring tomorrow, and also Tussarel drives Hungaroring on Monday in GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So
oh yeah,
some racing to come up. We could actually have the end of the championship there. It would be fun. Like, it would mean that Hungaroring on its second appearance on the calendar would end the championship for the second time. But like when I won mine, it was the 9th race of the season, and now it's the 7th one. So it's
Mr. Carsten too fast.
It's a dominant affair. Yeah. Well, if you want to have a good chance at seeing a new ACC champion crowned, check it out next Monday. Tomorrow, of course, Tussarel. Tara and I are going to be driving in Tier 1, so that's going to be fun. And yeah, as said, Spa next week. So thanks for watching. Any final thoughts?
Not really. Hungary's fun. I like it. It gets a bad rep for not producing racing, but I like it. It's fun.
Why did I never talk myself out of this situation by just saying not really when you asked me for final thoughts? I always felt the pressure to come up with something.
Well, if you noticed, I said not really, and then I gave you a final thought. So you got your money's worth.
Yeah, well, I don't like Hungary. It's
oh,
don't like. Well,
objectively wrong.
No, I'm objectively correct when I say that I don't like it.
Okay, maybe.
My opinion of it might be wrong, but it is still my opinion. Okay.
You always make things so political. It's yeah.
Huh?
Oh, well.
What? What?
I'm just throwing memes in. It's fine.
I know. I can also read my iRacing driver profile out on stream, but I don't think anyone's gonna find that entertaining. So I think we're best off just ending it here.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.